hits. So all the other games yesterday, you've had a chance to look at some of the results. What was most interesting to you between the two teams?
Between these two teams?
Yes.
Or, yeah.
Like their results yesterday. We had a few blowouts, like you mentioned. Canada, New Zealand. That was a pretty. Canada just kind of ran away with it.
Yep. There was a bit of interesting play there with Canada I noticed for 6 consecutive plays that I was watching. Canada changed their defense on each play. They cycled through 3 different defenses, which was really interesting. As you were saying earlier, I mentioned this to you earlier, and you said that that might have been them testing that out.
Certainly. I think when you're in a game like that, you're on the international stage, you have a chance to play teams that maybe you haven't seen how their offense works before. They do something different that maybe you haven't seen before. And you're up a comfortable margin. I believe they won by over 200 points.
It was comfortable.
Yeah. Then you have a chance
#SeamSwag.
You have a chance to try out different sets, see if you can work. Can we switch to a zone very quickly? Can we switch to a 2-2-2 quickly? How is this working? How is it working against the pass? How is it working against the drive, et cetera, et cetera? So I think that was very smart on Canada's part. And if you're able to do it against the weaker teams, then it'll probably be easier for you to pull it out against the stronger teams, especially as they go into the Day 2 bracket.
Better than trying to work that stuff out during a Turkey game. All right, it looks like they're lining up now.
We have Canada on the left attacking left to right in the black with red accents, and we have Turkey attacking right to left in the white with red accents. Both teams getting lined up now.
Lining up and getting ready. We've seen Turkey be very vocal from their line, which is good to see, very loud. The Turkish supporter base is, by all reports, maybe not the largest, but one of the loudest supporter bases, which is good to see. Canada as well have a strong crowd. Don't look like they're all here right now, but they had a strong crowd yesterday. All right, here we go. Brody Nash is snitch. And we're up. Bludgers going all over the place. Quaffle goes to Canada. He makes a drive on the hoop. There's a player in his... Oh! And beautiful. A beautiful tackle there from number 77 from Turkey. But excellent work there from the Canadian getting that pass off.
Absolutely, absolutely. That was a great heads-up play by Canada. They quickly, as soon as he had the tackle, he knew exactly where his previous chaser was, pass back for the easy goal. Great opening play from Canada.
Really, because that chaser was behind him. So he fell forward and then had to still throw to someone who was behind him. It's an impressive play. Impressive shot. Bludger control now with Canada as Turkey paces it up. Passing the quaffle around a little bit. Beaters look like they're going in. Oh, and it's a beautiful steal there. Beautiful poke from behind. Canada managing to recover that bludger, though. A lot of heavy pressure from the Turkish beaters.
Canada's locking it down, though, certainly. Now Canada on the press.
They've knocked out some chasers.
And Turkey will step back and reset a little bit. Canada regain their poise. I think that's something we might see a lot this game, using the reset.
Oh, a nice beat from Canada there.
And now they're bludgerless. Canada on the press. Canada creating the turnover. That's 36. He's driving in. Jukes once, jukes twice.
Ooh.
Swatted by the Turkish keeper.
And a big tackle. Second big tackle. He gets free. He looks for the pass. He doesn't find it. It doesn't reach the hands.
That was
Radajewski
couldn't finish there.
And he's going to make the runaway. Oh! And he gets beat out from the looks of it.
And a big dive by Canada to recover that ball. Wow!
Wow, that was a big hit on number 77 as he ran out of that. Didn't have a ball, but it looked like, wow. The Turkish subline is going nuts, rightfully so. Even though they didn't score, that was an excellent play.
Absolutely, absolutely. Radajewski, it was the Canadian chaser on that play who was driving it in. Canada driving it in now far side. He gets tackled, and the beat misses because he was in the tackle, and Turkey recovers there. This is exactly what I wanted to see from Turkey, this big physical step up. This is great.
This is fantastic. I'm loving it. Canada maintaining control of the bludgers, doing a very good job of maintaining that. Had some subs now for the Turkish beaters. We'll see what kind of impact this can make. I'm just going to apologize in advance for my trouble with Turkish pronunciation. Ajem now here, pushing the center. She manages to dodge a beat, deflect a beat rather. Bludger control turning over to the Turkish, but the goal going wide, the shot going wide rather. Not finding any hands.
And that's the Canadian keeper, Custers, who picked that one up, and now he'll have a sub out. Canada now bringing it up the center of the fields. Turkey set up. They have bludger control. Interesting beater setup right now. They're very compressed.
Yeah, and very close to the hoops. Nice little trade. Looks like it's going to favor Turkey. Nice pass off under pressure there. Second pass off under pressure.
Canada working it well around the hoops.
And goes straight to the hands of the keeper. Interesting position there from the keeper behind the hoops. And I'm enjoying the speed from these. Oh! Beautiful catch there from the Canadian beater. Doesn't manage to get bludger control out of it. The ball goes loose.
Fakirk had like four pump fakes there, and then on the last pump fake, he just flung it out of his hands. Yeah. He was beat on the play there, and that'll be a turnover to Canada.
Turkey here are outside of... Turkey here with the bludger outside of the pitch, and the brooms down colds is including that bludger kick. So Turkey there making a throw. We've got a replay here.
Great catch by the Canadian beater there.
I think there's a discussion around that kick from the Turkish. It was an excellent catch.
And then he comes back into the play right at the end there and gets the beat to deny the goal and creating the turnover.
It looks like they're turning that bludger over to the Canadians.
Turkey now with one bludger back.
The call is for, I believe, intentionally propelling a bludger off pitch.
And now Canada's going to go on a run. Canadian beater leading the way.
He's going to go a big hit. Just easy little trade.
Great
no goal though.
Drive
in. Blocks it out. Goes straight to the hands of Crow. And he finds the goal.
That's one thing. So that was a great drive there. That was a great job by Martins. However, he was cradling the ball. He didn't have it in his hand ready to go. So when he reached the hoop to dunk, he couldn't dump it off.
Whoa!
Yeah, this Canadian beater's doing quite well. Very lanky boy.
Whoa!
And then he gets beat. Kind of tripped up over his own feet there. That's Gala.
Oh, another missed beat, unfortunately, from the Turkish. It's going to turn over bludger control, but AJ might be able to turn it around really quick.
With a bunch of beater confusion, I'm surprised Turkey's not capitalizing right now.
They had no bludgers for a moment there.
And
AJ, and he
scored!
Quick little pop and drop out of nowhere.
We'll see if he was beat before. It looked like he got that off to me. I'm surprised that Turkey didn't capitalize on that sooner. I think they were waiting to see who would come up with that bludger.
Yeah. I think the confusion there was around whether the Turkish beater caught a bludger, and they were standing under two Canadian beaters, but if that Turkish beater was the only one holding a bludger. So, because that could have influenced the play.
Referees now conferencing on that play. This is exciting. I'm glad.
I'm enjoying it.
Both, you expect the teams to come out well, but I'm happy that they're gunning for it. They're working hard. It's a fast pace of play, which is most exciting, I think.
It's very fast paced, certainly.
We'll see if the teams can keep this up. Both teams seem to have relatively deep benches.
It looks like they're just giving a warning to that to the Turkish beater, Ergun. For
a jam, I believe. That's number 4.
No, they're talking to number 6. With those beautiful rainbow shorts. I believe that's from Unicorns Quidditch?
METU Unicorns.
Yeah.
They're very...
Call is called No Good. All right, interesting.
Those rainbow shorts are the shorts of METU Unicorns, one of Turkey's best teams.
All right, Crown now driving it up pitch. The beater coming in, gets beat out. But,
Woo!
oh, what a sick alley-oop. Oh,
Martins was
what a
completely
drive there at that spare bludger.
Martins was completely on track there on the near side, and that was such an easy pass for Crow. And no one on Turkey wanted to body him up. Crow's a big guy.
I don't want to get in front of that. Not when he's on a run.
And if that might be the key to what Canada does. If they can't, if Turkey can't stop really fast drives like that, that might be what Canada does. And you've got Gala leading them in with the bludger.
That drive with the bludger was also very
absolutely. They were completely in
there.
sync there, which is something that we talked about before. That chasers and beaters completely need to be in sync.
Which we just saw now, kind of not work out for Turkey, where one of the beaters made an excellent rebounding drive, but the chasers weren't with them.
Great
Oh!
save by Martins.
Beautiful save.
Turkey capitalizing on the Canadian beaters being completely out of position.
Not able to convert though, unfortunately.
Yeah, Nina Patti tried to pressure there, but Turkey passed around it, and without Gala in the play, she became pretty out of position there.
Agen there pressuring, really racing for the Canadian sub box as they sub to try and steal a bludger from under them. Not able to succeed though.
And now Canada will switch.
And there's a napalm. He dodges the napalm.
Incredible block by Fakert there, right through the
No
hoop.
goal just yet. And we've got brooms down now. Looks like it's a call against the Canadians.
Referees conferencing on this one. It looked to me as though Fakert had dropped the goal. He had blocked the goal.
Maybe a bit of goaltending, you think? Great work there from the Canadian beater. I've just lost sight of him, but dodging the that 1.5 attempt. And we're seeing yellow card now to a beater.
And that's number 89, Makooch. And that's illegal contact, yellow card, contact from behind. That's killer. Beater fouls are always killer.
That's going to hurt. There's one bludger now sitting at the Canadian hoops. And, of course, it turns over the quaffle, and there was no goal. They're going to turn over that bludger as well. No, they're not. They're going to leave it there.
The bludger was free, so it's just going to be a free ball.
Wasn't involved in the play.
Canadian beater's got his work cut out for him here. He's going to try and maintain bludger control by themselves. That's Loy Leroux.
Oh, he misses the shot, but he picks up another bludger. Oh, no goal, no goal.
Before Fakert's going to try and run
and he's
this
outrunning
one down.
him.
Big dive by the Canadian chaser there.
A
bit of a dangerous play there from Barasa.
Turkish pressing up once again.
Barasa, good wrap. He's got a pick on him.
And there's no bludger in defense. He gets the pass off barely. The Turkish have all the bludgers. He doesn't manage to step on. Oh! Ball's still around. That looks like it might have been an injury.
He's gripped his face. A bit too high for Fakert there. Some passing there to get around the hoops was good by Turkey, but they just could not finish, and they'll come back to regroup.
That was probably a wise move. They had two chasers out, and they're both going straight to the sub bench, which is not great.
Yeah, that'll be a sub out for Fakert.
Canada's beaters are back in. He's making another drive, even though he only has two chasers. The others are asking for the ball.
It's a bold strategy. He resets, comes back up to the keeper.
Turkey have maintained bludger control through all of this.
Barasa on defense.
He makes the drive through. Ball goes in the hoop.
Gets it.
Turkey are now on the board. We're 4 minutes and 20 seconds in. The score is 30-10 for Canada.
That was a good block attempt by Barasa there, but
yeah, I didn't think that went in. That looked to me like a good block, but the refs had a much better view, of course. All right, Canada coming up field now. They had a few subs. Big getting the flank around. They missed the beat. And Turkey respond excellently.
Great
Beautiful
play by the
beat there.
Turkish beaters, and
Tur-
now keeper Cha-Cha is on a run. He passes off. Good contact from the Canadian keeper.
Oh! Beautiful work there.
And through a mishandling from Cha-Cha, it goes through the hoop.
Scores through mishandling.
Yeah.
Another also credit to the Turkish there off camera, but they were keeping the Canadians from getting their bludger back into defense. That big missed shot on the last offense from Canada really hurt them. Tackle coming in. He's ducking, he's weaving. But the Canadian bludger hasn't committed yet.
Gala sitting back as the Canadian beater, while McCready doing most of the work to try and maintain or get back control. Turkey not really willing to throw that bludger to shake McCready off.
Taking their half swings, just kind of passing the ball around.
Yeah, the Canadian bench
handing
is
it
yelling
around.
at them.
Oh!
It was
Big
a good
shot.
shot, but Cha-Cha blocks it.
Looks like the bludger's going to go back to the Canadians.
Cha-Cha, big pass downfield and a long beat from Gala.
All the
That was
bludgers
a
are out of
costly
position.
mistake. He's got to go for a run. He misses a long beat again.
They've got one bludger.
They've got McCready back. She passes across to Cha-Cha.
Oh!
Through another mishandling, it was almost dropped in. And a missed beat from Turkey. And that was a great
excellent
shot there.
That was fantastic.
Radajewski for Canada.
For a moment there, it looked like on the last Turkish offense that there was a goal scored. It looks like this might be a timeout, actually.
And that is a Turkish timeout. All right, if I'm Turkey in this timeout right now, what do I need to change? What are we discussing?
Yeah, I'm thinking, well, it's hard. I'm thinking beta play. The Canadians feel like they're a little bit dominant on beta play. They're on offense. The Canadians are pushing in. They're sort of controlling the pace of the offense. And the Turkish are having to be very reactionary in that. When the Turkish are on offense, it doesn't feel as pressured on the Canadians. They're making big plays, but often their bludgers are missing. So maybe they're going to have to change up how they play those plays. We've had a few times where the Canadians have taken a big shot with the bludger and it's just gone wild, and they've had to run after it. Now the Canadians are pushing back, and that's just a really bad position to be in.
Absolutely. Certainly, I think the biggest thing is the reactionary beating. Turkey, with bludger control there, was basically camped on their hoops, but refused to throw the bludger.
Yeah.
And McCready had all the time in the world to distract the beaters while her offense set up, and it ended up with a goal.
Yeah. And they just sort of let the Canadians pass the ball back and forward at almost the keeper line.
They're going to have to tighten up their chaser defense just a little bit, I think, especially in these transition games. I think there have been 3 transition goals scored by Canada at this point. They're really going to have to find a way to guard against that, or that'll bite them.
I think in those defenses, Turkey could have been a little bit more liberal with throwing their bludger, given they had 2. Obviously now Canada has 2.
Certainly they have opposite problems. Canada sometimes might be throwing a little too wild. Turkey's not throwing wild enough.
Yeah.
Turkey walking it up fairly slowly now. Canada with bludger control.
Oh, nice flank there. They've gotten bludger control back, and they're pulling it out cleanly. Really nice move there. Surgical almost.
Yeah, that was a clean throw, and it came right back to him.
Oh, nice. And great little shot there from Turkey. They're going to get bludger control back, but the Canadian beaters back in defense. Interesting how the Canadian chasers don't feel like they're pretty much... Oh, and a beautiful pass and shot there.
That was a great cut there by the Turkish chaser. Great feed from Fakert, and she got the easy goal. Good hit by Canada, but just too late.
That was just about a perfect play. The quaffle moved around as it needed to, backed off when it needed to,
and that was
took the shot
Idilsi.
just when it needed to. The beaters got control. Ooh,
wow, that was
trade.
an incredible beater play by Canada there.
That was an excellent tackle.
And that's Patty doing well, doing very well. And Turkey coming all the way up the field to try and maintain bludger control, and they've missed it.
That hurt that the quaffle was so far back, because they totally won the beater game, and now they've lost their bludgers.
Fakert seems a little bit upset by that the beaters went on that run. But that was an incredible play by Patty there in conjunction with her beating partner.
That was a fantastic tackle, and it felt like the Turkish was kind of like wanting to ignore the tackle, wanting to just weather it, and that was totally the wrong decision. Oh, big battle there. Turkish have control back. Handing the ball around. We've got the Spanish warming up behind us.
Faker looking for his opening. We've got Crow back in the game for Canada.
Oh, he misses. Oh, but the second pickup.
That was a bit of a missed opportunity there by Faker, but that was a great cleanup
And the Turkish
by the
celebrating
Turkish team.
hard. Canada now calling a timeout. We're going to see what change up they have. The Turkish timeout has clearly helped them, and they're into it. They know that they've made a change, and they know that it's worked.
Absolutely.
You feel the energy.
So now the Canadians are taking their timeout. If you're Canada, what are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. I think now the momentum has shifted a little bit. Turkey's dominating the game a little bit now. I think Canada needs to take control of that a little bit more, pull that back, play their game a little bit more. I don't know. Like, I'm a beater, so I have a little bit of beater bias, so I focus on the beaters a little bit too much, perhaps. But I think the Canadian chasers there in that last series of plays could have done a little bit more work to push out the Turks, potentially. But that's hard to say.
Absolutely. I think especially on that last play there, what we saw was Faker running around the outside. He had his beater in front of him, clearing a path. And when the first Canadian chaser got beat, Crow stepped up, but it was too late. Faker was able to go around him. Now, he didn't get the goal, but Turkey had the cleanup and got the goal off that. But it's plays like that where Canada needs to remember that they can be physical and kind of step up sooner. Because if Turkey can continue working off that, if they start using their beaters on offense more effectively to work around the outside, I think that'll spell some trouble for Canada.
Yeah. Turkey felt like they had a little bit too much leash there. Had a little bit too much room to do what they wanted. They got the ball right around to like the back quarter of the hoop.
And teams will come out of the timeout now. And we've restarted our play.
Turkish keeper not remounting in time. But that's all right, he's next to the hoop. All right, coming up pitch now. And that is a tall beater.
Yeah, Gala's a tall guy, but he's been catching them, and he's been working the fast break well. They've compressed the entire Turkish defense into the keeper zone. Canada, it's Martins looking for it. He's got Crow up top.
Oh, nice
Crow
beat there.
gets beat.
There's a second chaser. Oh, but the tackle's in. The tackle's heavy.
That's
3 chases on him.
Burroughs Balka who got taken down.
Oh, a very physical game from both chasers and beaters there on defense.
And Faker with the cleanup. That was a good look by Canada, but a great, great physical defense by Turkey.
That was fantastic. And great beater play from Canada. They're getting bludger control back very surgically.
Absolutely.
Sectioning off one beater, knocking them out, collecting the bludgers, pulling out when they needed to, going back in as they needed to, but like making sure that
they weren't expecting that. Gala just stepped up and did it, and now he's going to lead the way. He's moving in front of the quaffle line.
And the bludger hits a friendly player.
Oh, and it's been a block at the hoop for Burroughs Balka. He's windmilling, he's spinning, and he's taken down by Fakert. And now we've got a pile up at the hoops. And the Turkish beater will come in. And Canada maintains bludger control there. Smart move by Gala to come up without a bludger.
Because he would have lost it there.
And,
and Turkey just stealing a bludger.
McCready not quite aware is there, and Turkey got the bludger. And in that confusion with McCready turned around, Fakert steps up into the space and hits a mid-range shot.
That was beautiful.
And now Turkey has taken the lead.
50-40 to Turkey. We are 14 minutes in. Wow. That was a really nice choice there to step up and shoot. Risky. And it wasn't like the team wasn't with him, but he knew he had it.
And now Canada switches out to a beefier line. That's Barasa, whose shot is blocked by Fakert. Now Fakert's going to go on a
drive.
run. He's got to chase a way long around.
And it's called no good.
That was very
Wow.
close, though. Just a quick swat. Wow, that
slap
was
nearly put it in the hoop.
absolutely.
I think that was good instinct to run, but I think instead of making that pass forward, he should have dropped back.
If the pass was better, that was a goal. If
There's
the
a beater
pass
right on top of him, but if it had come to his hands,
if it had come
might
to
have-
his hands, he would have been able to release, I think.
early Canadian beater pressure. Oh, a beautiful beat there.
Right at the ankles of the Canadian keeper. That's Newman.
Nice swap there on that quaffle, keeping it alive. Oh, a catch there from the Canadian for the Turkish. There's one player left though. Oh, big contact.
And the Canadian keeper, I think he was beat there on the initial beat, and then he kept on playing. That's what it looked like to me.
It looks like they're saying contact over the neck. That was a messy set of tackles. One of the Canadian chasers there. We got a replay coming up now. Now that was a nice beater play. You can see in that little replay.
It kind of blew up the center of the play. Yeah, and you've got Burroughs Balco who had picked it up there, got tackled. Canada seem to have gotten a beefier line in. The players, I think, look a little more physically imposing.
They are a very tall team.
It's kind of funny. You look at the bench, and they all seem fairly tall. And then you look at Gala, and
There's that one.
he's another 8 inches above all of them. And it looks like the Canadians will have the quaffle in the middle of the keeper zone.
He's got 3 chases in front of him.
He's got Barasa. He's got Lowry. He has the reset, and he's got
Probably gonna
2
take it.
Turkish beaters trained right on him. Canada's bench is calling for a reset there. They're just telling him, don't even bother, just throw it back.
Turks is putting their hands up, just like, no, don't try.
You know what? I think that would be a great trick play if you pretend to reset and
Yes.
somehow scored the goal.
Someone pulled it off yesterday. It was great.
Oh!
Beautiful slap there.
A great slot. Oh wow, that was
Great work.
that was a smart play. That was a smart play.
Everyone sort of agreed that he was just going to reset, and then nope.
If I was Newman there, I might have done that one underhand just to avoid the slap. But great heads-up
Or
play.
even just like kick it or something. Something to make sure that it's going to be yours.
That was Tunahan for Turkey.
Turkey now coming up with bludger control. Walking up very slowly. Oh, he gets the beat on the chaser.
Turkey trying to maintain bludger
Ooh.
control, but the Canadian beaters are too
And
fast.
drives too well.
Barasa had the
Drives too
entire
well.
lane clear. I don't think he was touched the entire time. That was an excellent hustle play by the Canadian beater there. And that was Tyson Worrell.
Beautiful work there from the Turkish beaters. The Canadians have no bludgers. He makes it drive, pass through players, and he scores. Beautiful. We've got brooms down now.
I've just noticed Fakert is in a chaser now. I think they need they're trying to get more of their offensive drive heavy players. He got tackled there, but was able to pass off to the keeper, and the keeper dodging a few Canadian tackles, able to score. So here we've got their Fakert on the ground, 1 tackle dodge, 2 tackle dodge, 3 tackle dodge almost.
Beautiful.
Able to finish through that small hoop, kind of in a backhanded fashion. He had his back turned to the hoops, and then was able to come around to
his
score
whole
it.
body around to try and
That was a good heads-up athletic play by Tunahan.
Got a little bit of discussion now. Looks like they're talking to the beaters. There may have earlier been a little bit of slightly contentious bludger play in the last Canadian offense.
Goal is
Wow.
no good.
So they're saying he was dismounted when he was released, I believe.
Tunahan arguing the call.
Could get that video ref going. Pull Logan over to here. And we're back. That would have hurt because that was a beautiful goal.
And now Newman will have a sub. And it looks like a full a full line sub for Canada. They've got Gala and McCready back in at beater.
They've been working well together as a pair.
Absolutely.
McCready now flanking around.
Turkish beaters camped on their hoops, practically standing on the base. Gala comes in. He tries to disrupt. They get distracted, but Canada was unable to help in that situation.
Wow. I noticed the Canadian beater there being forced to turn over her bludger because she didn't finish the reset procedure. I did notice that. I've been caught on that myself. You get caught on it once or twice, and then you do it properly every time.
And that
so it really hurts.
That was Ergun, the beater for Turkey there. He wanted to beat Gala and then didn't, and Gala just ran back with the ball with bludger control.
He was told he wasn't allowed to.
I have absolutely no idea. Wow, really?
Yeah.
That's just okay.
Ooh, didn't release the ball. All right. We've now got Ajan back on for beating.
Faker
and the
up
Seekers
top.
are out.
A floater pass can't quite connect with the Turkish chaser, and Canada
Ooh.
jumps on it.
And the Turkish now don't have the bludger in defense. Here comes the run. The steam train almost. He gets a big tackle on. He goes to ground, and they dive on him.
Okay.
And there is a hell of a play.
And Canada now, there's a big scrum at the hoops, but they're going to put both their beaters on the snitch. Canada giving as much time as possible. Gala and McCready just doing work here.
I think
McCready
it benefits
coming
Canada.
back into play.
I think it benefits Canada not to interact with this play. Like it's in Canada's favor if they can prevent the Turkish from resetting the quaffle and just hold the quaffle on the ground forever, effectively, because they have control of the bludgers.
Yeah. Canada.
They don't want to play the quaffle game anymore.
They have completely neutralized the quaffle game. The Turkish beaters are running absolutely everywhere with these wild throws, trying to get a long beat on the Canadian seeker, and they just can't do it because Canada's beaters are completely locking down the area. Finally, they get one as McCready gets caught up with Ergun.
The
And
Canadians
now Turkey has a chance.
Oh! And
now
I have a
they've got
bludger.
more of a chance.
The bludger came into the commentary area. The Canadians, they're renewing their effort on the quaffle, really struggling in the...
And the scrum still continues.
Ooh, unfortunately, the Turkish missing their opportunity at bludger control there.
Great double beat. Worrell mishandles
Wow.
the bludger and palms it into the Turkish beater's face. That was a great play by Worrell. And
the Turkish managing to get a
Fakered
quaffle
on a run, finally.
the Turkish going for that big run. The Turkish keeper not even joining the offense.
And they've got Canada as Karen Douglas in its seeker, and now she's had a run. She's going to go sub off now.
The Canadians really feel dominant now in this beater game.
And now Worrell and Roy Leroy are completely locking down the seeker game here as Canada's chasers just try to do it by themselves. Little mishandling of the keeper there.
The Turkish beaters here, so the quaffle play here is all on just chasers.
And now Turkey has recovered bludger control for the first time for Snitch on pitch. Worrell almost with a catch, and Fakert's going to run it himself. It looks like no Canadian beater is back, and they're going to have to do a full physical
Oh, a beautiful
stop.
catch here. Beautiful catch. He manages to maintain. Oh, beautiful work from the Turkish chasers as well.
Chacha, the keeper for Turkey, he gets tackled but passes off to Faker. I think that's been a huge play for Turkey. They've been able to pass off in the last possible second when they're getting tackled right around the hoops. Oh,
big
Gala!
slap.
She wasn't expecting that. Ajam wasn't expecting that.
And a beautiful and really easy play there from Canada on the quaffle play.
Oh, and that'll
Crowd
be a
just
mix-up
driving,
there.
passing.
Ajam and McCready, they've got an advantage call.
Yeah,
They
Ajam
got
looks
mixed
tired.
up.
She probably needs a sub.
Yeah, Ajam's calling for a sub now, though there's a stoppage of play.
And the Spanish again, still making more noise. I'm enjoying their warm-up.
This is some incredibly intense beater play we've had here, and it seems that the beaters for both teams are focusing exclusively
There
on the
is
snitch.
no bludger in the quaffle game whatsoever. It's coming down entirely to the chasers. And it's just Drive City.
It is, and both teams have conceded goals, and both teams have had stops here. And so I think it's if this continues, if this play continues, it is really going to be whose chasers can make more physical stops. And from what I've seen so far, I want to give it to Canada, but they've had a few misfires, whereas Turkey has been a little more solid. So I think it'll be interesting.
I think Turkey's done a better job of, when they get tackled up, getting the ball out to the spare players, to the remaining players. They've done a really good job of like, evacuating the quaffle when they need to.
Absolutely. At least 2 or 3 goals from Turkey have been on cleanup plays.
Yeah. Whereas the Canadians have been taking big tackles and then just hitting the ground, which may just be a credit to the Turkish tackling. Hard to say.
All right. Turkey now with bludger control.
Rolling out some subs.
McCrady's doing her
the timing's
best.
not doing very well there.
Gala giving his seeker a little chance. It's Evers. And now a big wild throw by the Turkish beater. Kind of a silly play there. You gotta make those tight and close when you're in snitch on pitch. McCrady doing a great job of badgering Gungor here.
Oh, one last play. Oh, and a beautiful, beautiful work there from a Turkish player, Turkish chaser. I can't see her name. Her number is Pi. Beautiful play there on her own, taking on quite a small chaser, taking on the Canadian defense, but the Canadians respond mightily. Crow just running it through the center.
The Turkish seeker is having all the time in the world, and Roy Leroy for Canada almost getting the bludger back. Meanwhile, Crow, a great drive, and I think that's what they got to do here. Canada's just got to ram it down Turkey's throats.
Oh,
now
nice.
Baker comes in, he fakes out Martins, and now Turkey,
beautiful.
Another goal.
That goal was wonderful. There was no physicality in it because they had some an excellent screen.
Oh, Evers so close with the snitch catch there for Canada. Roy Leroy locking it down in the beater game.
And now's another drive. The tackle doesn't quite reach.
Roy Leroy, good precision.
Oh, doesn't go in. And another goal for Canada.
That was a great cleanup play. That was an incredible cleanup play by Robin Fortune there.
80-90. We're 23 minutes in. Turkey's favor.
And, you know, man, Roy Leroy is really locking down this beater game here. The Turkish seeker and the Turkish beaters are having so much trouble while he's on the field. Evers now getting a chance.
Oh, missing on the seeker.
It's a
That's going to hurt.
misbeat. Evers getting a lot of time here.
Get your immunity. Get your immunity. Didn't have it. Oh, Turkish keeper dismounting, I think.
All right, it's got to be a big step up there by
and
Newman.
He scores.
He scored from far out. Newman, he decided to step up, and the Turkish keeper able to make that mid-range shot.
The Turkish just feel like they're a bit of a swat there from the Turkish seeker.
That was a cheeky move.
Nice work there from the Turks.
And now
we've got a nice, beautiful little pass, but it doesn't go through. Lot of physical pressure.
We've got Barasa
and now
in there now.
We've got a bit of a.
There's an advantage
dog
call.
pile. Oh, he gets it out.
There's an advantage call. Meanwhile, McCrady and Worrell in for the Canadian beaters.
There was something of a dog pile there at the Turkish hoops, but Canada were able to just pull the quaffle out. Great cleanup play. And a nice little pass there between the Turkish beaters.
They've been good at that. I've noticed that several times. They've been trying to pass around the Canadian beaters to catch them unawares and get the beat off.
So I think so far the Canadian beaters have been dominant, but the Canadian seeker hasn't been able to get to grips with Bodie really. Hasn't been able to get his hands on the snitch. He's had a few very close attempts, but I think the seeker game is definitely favoring the Canadians so far.
Certainly. Although Turkey, they've just regained bludger control.
So we'll see what happens here because they've got. Oh, and a beater interacting with the quaffle play for once. On offense as well.
Faker.
Oh, a big behind tackle.
I don't know if Faker subbed out. Yeah, he had an almost dunk there. Last minute block. And a wild shot from Barasa. I don't know why he didn't just run that one back in.
Canadian beater missing a spare bludger there, unfortunately.
And it's Fortune who's recovered, and she drives it in. They miss the tackle. Great heads-up awareness by Fortune there.
I'm loving the physicality from the smaller players in this.
Oh, the Turkish seeker nearly had his hand on it there. He's getting some alone time.
He needs to
Canada
go.
is
He needs
subbed
to
in.
go. This is his chance.
Naftel looking a
wrecked,
little
though.
tired.
Ooh,
Turkey now locking down that seeker game.
the scores are dead even right now. 25 minutes in, 100 apiece.
Ajam and Ergun
Yeah, we got a new
giving their
seeker.
seeker all the time in the world. They've got a fresh seeker in.
Oh!
Almost
Seeker goes
went
for
for
between the legs.
Between the legs pull. Those are tough to pull off, but
A bit scary for the snitch as well.
but they look good.
Well, this snitch is a tall man.
And it looks like the Canadian beater, Patty, has had a bit of an injury.
Wow.
She's just, it looks like she's limping ever so slightly. She's taking a sub. And they're subbing in Roy Leroy.
That is a satisfying name.
Yeah. Raphael Roy Leroy.
Yeah.
I hope I'm saying that right.
Leroy.
Pardon any French Canadians who are watching. I don't speak French. Roy Leroy was locking down the speeder game earlier.
was.
Let's see if they can.
Let's hope he was ready for that sub. I suspect he will be.
Let's see if they can lock it back down. He's looking a little tired. I'm not so sure he got.
Oh, a big drive there. Ho ho!
Great run by Fortune. That was a really confident play. Good job. Turkey still giving some looks at the beater game.
Whoa. They're both going to take a big walk back on that beater play.
Evers, the Canadian seeker, looking just a little frustrated by the stoppage in play. And the Canadians running on the field to give water. It's it's starting to get hot out here. Yesterday it was quite toasty. This has been wild. 110,
Incredible.
100.
The quaffle game is just going back and forward, tit for tat. Canada coming ahead for the first time in quite a while.
About 6 goals or so.
Yeah.
Turkey maintaining bludger control.
Oh!
And it looks like
Oh!
the Turks have pulled.
There was a beat in there. But it might be Roy. I can't tell which one. Number 0.
Roy Leroy is
Leroy.
grabbing their face.
They don't look. They look. Oh. They look displeased.
Referees conferencing now.
That was the catch was from after big pressure from the Canadian seeker, opened up an opportunity for the Turkish.
There was a lot of traffic around that snitch. It was very hard to find out what exactly was going on. On our cheat sheet, his name just says The Bolt. Number 273, The Bolt. Khan the Bolt. He was quite fast out there, so I guess that's an apt nickname.
And he's got the yellow.
Yeah.
Lightning bolt.
He's praying for it right now. He's really hoping this one's good. The referee's in quite a long conference here. I think they're making sure that absolutely nothing was amiss. There were no fouls, impediments, anything of the sort. This has been quite an exciting
a hell
match.
of a game. We're at 27 minutes in. A heroic effort from every player on the pitch.
Absolutely.
From the beaters for keeping such an physical and energy intensive game, sprinting everywhere. From the chasers making drive after drive, from tackling.
And the catch for Turkey is good.
Wow. Turkey are ecstatic.
Final score 130-110 in favor of Turkey. They're losing their minds right now.
Wow. Incredible.
And what is perhaps, at least the most closely seeded, but perhaps the closest round of 16 game we will see here. Turkey coming out on top over Canada.
Wow. Incredible match. Incredible match.
Incredible match. I think Canada perennially a pretty decent team, usually finishing within the top 5. This has got to be a bit of a disappointment.
It's got to hurt a little bit. Yeah, you could see it in them that they were bit downtrodden when they saw that. They rallied a little bit for their cheers. They're keeping straight faces, but they're probably hurt inside.
Absolutely. Really what I think changed the tide there was the Turkish beaters outlasted the Canadian beaters. They had a lot of talent out there, but McCready and Roy Leroy and Worrell could only stay on the field for so long, whereas Turkey was able to kind of outlast them, give their seeker just enough time. Incredible beater play all around.
And I think heroic effort. Just having a look now. We're about to cross over to the analysis desk,
where we've got Siraj hosting along with Chris and Yuta.
I've been Mark Kelly.
I've been Matt Dwyer.
I'm going to hand you over.
Wow, what a game. The first live stream game. They were the closest in seeding, so it's going to be the tightest of the round of 16. Seeded number 8, seeded number 9. But overall, would you call that an upset? Because coming into this tournament before, as we know, Canada came in 4th last World Cup, bronze before that. So what do you guys think about that match?
It was an incredible game to watch. Of course, I am ever so slightly biased towards Canada as I have played there. I'm sad to see them lose, but it was an incredible game by both teams. Both teams played really well, really physically strong, and both of them are going to have, or Turkey now in this case, is going to have a very interesting match against Germany next round, so to say.
Personally, I wouldn't call it an upset. Going on pure ranking, yes. However, the standard of Quidditch in the Turkish region has improved tenfold, probably more, since the last World Cup. So I'm not shocked at the result, but I think Turkey will be over the moon and Canada will be hanging their heads.
Yeah, I mean, you can't dispute that match at all. I mean, there was nothing contentious. That was definitely, it was neck and neck almost the entire way through. One team would be up, the other team would come back. What do you think it came down to in the end?
Ooh, I mean, it came down to that snitch catch.
Yeah,
it did. I think the early game was won. Though Canada went up in the early game on quaffle points, the early game was won by the Turkish defense, putting in those huge hits around their own hoops to stop the scoring goals. If Turkey hadn't have done that, I think Canada could have got out of snitch range before the Turkish timeout, which maybe could have made some Turkish heads fall. But then Turkey called the timeout. I don't know what was said to them in that timeout, but it flicked a switch.
I need a transcript of that speech.
Literally. Oh my God.
Put that in every sports movie you've ever seen.
Wow.
Talk to me about the seeker beating, because on both sides, it seemed really strong for the Canadians at first, but then the Turkish team rallied as well. Bludger control, swapping between them rather evenly.
I mean, both of them knew that snitch on pitch was the most important thing. There was no focus on quaffle play whatsoever from either teams. They knew what they had to do. They knew what it came down to. They focused in. It was really well focused from both sides, I would argue.
And again, I would say a testament to the strong defense physicality on both teams, that if all of the bludgers are focused on the snitch, you would expect the quaffle game to just kind of go out of control, but it's still, the score didn't...
The quaffle game did kind of go out of control.
It went back and forth. I wouldn't say it went out of control in one way of the team, but I mean, it's a testament to the physicality of the teams. Like you said, there were several times, and most notably I think around the Turkish hoops, where there was just a pile of chasers and keepers. And the quaffle was in there somewhere, but the beaters, quite frankly, didn't care. They were bubbling around the snitch. They were trading beater control, and it was, honestly, if you want to watch how to bubble, watch that game. Phenomenal.
It was indeed very exciting to watch.
Any standout players on either side for you?
Ooh, I really enjoyed number 4 from Turkey, the female beater. In terms of female beating, she is one of the best out there. She is both tackle strong and just very aggressive and well strategically placed, always on pitch.
Gola, hands down. He's a big boy. He's got the height, he's got the arm, he's literally like a catapult. And he made some absolutely insane catches in the early game, which I really think stopped quite a few goals for Turkey. He played fantastically with snitch on pitch. Yeah, I think we all overthrow him. We all miss every now and again, which was a shame for him. But I don't think he can walk away with that game being disappointed in his play. He really was a stand-up player for Canada for me.
Okay. And I guess before we wrap up, what do you see? What do you want to see from Turkey moving forward into the bracket? What are they going to have to do?
I mean, they play Germany next, and Germany is also a really strong team. Germany, I would argue, has one of the best beater games in the entirety of in the entirety of Europe. So they're going to have a challenge with that. Seeing as Canada had bludger control a large part of the beginning of the game, I can expect Germany to do the same. So Turkey's really going to have to kind of step up their beater game if they want to be able to match that side of Team Germany. As well as Germany's physicality is strong, so if probably on par with Turkey's. So they're going to need to find some way to deal with that.
Yeah, Turkey are going to need to keep the consistency of the big hits around their hoops. I also think that maybe on the offense, keep it to what they were doing on the second half of that game.
Yeah.
Turkey was slowing it down. They were being slightly more methodical. They weren't sending the huge passes. I think in the start of the game, I didn't rate Turkey's passing game. They wasn't very accurate. The pass completion was very low. It did improve as the game went on. So I think learn from that. Keep the passes short and quick. Let your beaters do work because they've got good beaters. It will be a challenge versus the power of the German beaters, as we know, as we've seen them before. But yeah, more of that second half from Turkey, and I think that's what will hopefully give them the upper hand against Germany.
Yeah.
Cool. Any final thoughts?
I think we can just wish Turkey luck going forward, and of course Canada in the somewhere between 8 and 16 rankings. I think both teams, Canada should do well in that lower slot. They should come up fairly high in that lower area.
But if that game is anything to go off on what the Quidditch is going to be like today, oh, have we got a day?
Yeah.
Oh, have we got a day?
What a day we have in store for you, indeed. Thank you so much for joining me, discussing this match. This is the IQA World Cup.